Rose here for my professional property series. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. We are lucky to have Warwick Brooks here, who is also a director of Domain & Co. Warwick and I started the business 20 years ago, which has seen some roller coasters, but never quite like the times right now. So we've been doing these professional property series for a little while now, and there are so many interviews that I have done on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page. Love you to like and subscribe and comment and share. And if there's any interviews that I haven't done and you'd like to see, please let me know either in the comments or feel free to send me a message, and I would love to make that happen for you. But tonight, Warwick, what we wanted to talk about is, obviously we've been living with this COVID-19 virus for a few months now, and it looks like it's going to be a while longer for us to get through this pandemic. I guess before a vaccine is introduced is really the only...
Yeah, it's very uncertain times at the moment, and we've noticed that this week, and especially since everybody I know who's watching this would have loved to have had our restrictions change on Monday to be better, but we've been pulled back a little bit, and that's going to have effects across the property market as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and with the new, I guess, hotspots jumping out too.
Yes, so obviously that's a changing by the minute kind of situation, and we're really keeping an eye on all that and all the different areas and so forth that are being considered hotspots, because it's going to affect the property market in those areas.
Absolutely. So right now, Warwick, how are you seeing the market for buyers? Like, there's a lot of people who were thinking about buying just before COVID hit that have maybe put the brakes on or not sure how market values are going. What would your advice be for buyers, and how are you seeing it out there for clients that you're buying for as an advocate?
Yeah, look, it's at the moment it's you would think that it's a buyer's market, but due to the extreme lack of stock, anything that's good quality is under quite a bit of competition and is getting pretty good pricing. But there's just not a lot out there. There's hardly anything that's good that's available to buy. So the ones that are going cheap, I suppose, are the ones that we don't buy for our clients, and they're the kind of the second and third tier properties. There's a lot of those out there, and a lot of those are having decent price drops. But yeah, if you're looking for a good quality property, now is probably not the best time to pick something up, just from the fact that there's just nothing available, which is very frustrating for us and for our clients. We're on the phones to real estate agents every day, trying to see what's coming up and everything, and we were hoping that things were going to pick up, but yeah, I've been on the phone this week to agents, and yeah, things don't look like they're going to come back that we thought they were.
Not anytime soon. What we're seeing a lot of is the off-market purchasing.
Yeah, look, there is the off-market. There is a lot of people who are putting their properties on kind of up for the off-market, but it also, once again, with the off-market, it's kind of it's a yes, it is off market, or no, they're going to hold off, and it's a kind of a week by week basis. We book an inspection in, and they say, oh no, they've changed their mind. So it's it's just an incredible time in the marketplace right now.
And it's handy, I guess, having details of who is looking to buy, because we can certainly match them with people who are looking to sell, who aren't, quite ready to put it on the market because it's a little bit more uncertain at the moment.
Yeah, look, we've got quite a decent list of people who are wanting to sell at some point in the future, but now they're just waiting and seeing what happens. So yeah, we've got some properties that clients are wanting to sell, but we've also got some buyers there for obviously different types of properties. But it would be great to see some properties come on the market. And in reality, we were kind of hoping that August was going to be the month that a lot of properties came on. Because when we were talking to people, it was let's kind of look at kicking something off in July, and hopefully that by kind of August things would have eased even more. But Victoria going backwards, all of those plans have kind of been put on hold, and we're just kind of waiting at the moment to see how things pan out over the next couple of weeks. With Victoria, obviously the other states are doing a lot better than us.
So they say. And hopefully, if everybody is sensible and does their social distancing, including with family and friends, I guess that that's the only way that we can stay on top of it in Victoria at the moment. So Warwick, if you're if you're thinking about selling, what would your advice be to someone who wants to sell their property right now?
Look, if you've got a property that is a great property, a property that is kind of that kind of 8 to 10 out of 10 type of property, then yeah, definitely it's worthwhile kind of looking at whether or not to put it off market and have it available, because there are a lot of buyers out there still and not a lot of stock. We are telling people who have those kind of second and third rate properties to potentially hold off for a little while, because the only people seem to be out there at the moment are more the bargain hunters. And we have seen properties in the newer developments dropping kind of up to 20% in value.
Wow.
And that's a big shock for a lot of people in regards to what their properties are worth.
And I guess particularly because those ones in the newer development haven't really increased in any price. They're dropping 20% potentially from what they bought it for, not a value.
Yeah, look, most of them
can be a bit of a shock.
Most of them were actually only worth what they were bought for, even if they were 10 years old, and now they've gone back 10 to 20%. It turns out to be a big figure.
So that's why I guess the advice is really important when you're looking to buy or sell, and not necessarily from someone who wants to sell your property, because they'll tell you it's a great time to sell. When you ask them when is a good time to sell, now is always great. Whereas if you're asking an advocate, then they're going to give you the honest advice around where it actually sits in the market.
Yeah, look, and we have had quite a few people call us just recently where agents have said, look, it's worth this much money, we've got buyers, and they're going to have to spend this much marketing to market it. And we've looked at it and said, it's just not possible, it's not worth that. And we said, put them on a very tight leash, and they don't have buyers. So yeah, just be very careful about wanting to sell right now and being told what a value is worth, because sometimes it's probably told you to get it up and running, but then you're going to be hit with some hard conversations
around reducing
the price pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So as far as property management goes, and rental properties for landlords and tenants, we've seen some obviously big changes happen over the last few months as well, with government acts changing and trying to keep up with that daily. Scott Morrison announcing that people don't have to pay their rent if they can't, and can't be kicked out either, threw us all in a lot of turmoil for, I think it was up to about 5 weeks before they brought in the new rules and then the regulations around those rules to explain how we were supposed to use it. But now I feel like we're in a bit of a groove. We know how it's got to go. We know how we can help these tenants through who are suffering from hardship. We've probably seen around about 10%, do you think, of our rent roll suffering from hardship?
Around about 10%, and of that 10%, we've successfully helped 99% of those people.
Yeah, and helping out not only the tenants but obviously the landlords as well. There hasn't been a lot of relief from the government, and in fact very poor support for landlords from the government. Owners can obviously put their mortgage on hold, but that only goes on to the end of the mortgage, and that helps the banks, not necessarily the landlords. And they can claim a reduction of the land tax, although that doesn't really help a lot of owners, particularly a lot who aren't paying land tax, or their land tax is a small amount because they own an apartment and it's based on the amount of land that they own. Tenants' hardship has been classified as if they are paying 30% or more of their income in rental. So above 30% is where we classify them in hardship, and trying to get them as close to that 30% as possible with the government grants that are available as well has been challenging, but it's been great to have that ruling that's where the hardship, I guess, line is drawn.
Yeah, definitely.
There was a long time there where there was no clarification around what is actual hardship, but that certainly helped.
Yeah, and it also relates to that 30% of income is related to all the tenants in the property who are living, or the household. So when you add everyone together, we haven't had too many that are significantly over 30%, and it's just about how to try to get back to that 30% level, and how it works for both the landlord and for the tenant, so that everybody is it's kind of helped out in this situation.
Absolutely. What we are also seeing is a lot of property up for lease. So we've been flooded with the Airbnb market. So obviously the Airbnb market fell on its backside when COVID hit and we stopped getting visitors in and people stopped moving around. So all of the owners that were leasing their property out on Airbnb are now gone, now what do we do? So those properties have come back onto the rental market. They've either left them furnished or unfurnished them, and that's added an influx of properties to be leased. We're also seeing, no people coming in from overseas as students and people migrating to be able to lease a lot of properties. And a lot of tenants are also moving back home with family to be able to save money because they have lost their jobs, and even with a rent reduction there's no way they can afford the rent, so they've made the smart decision to move out of the property. So we're seeing drops of up to 10% in rentals for properties that are vacant, and properties are taking a lot longer to lease based on the realestate.com stats. I think it's up to around about 35 to 40 days now it's taking to rent a property, although we're still doing pretty well in leasing them just in the low 20s, so sort of 2 to 3 weeks, which has been fantastic for our company. The properties that aren't leasing quickly and are seeing more of a drop in rents are those ones that have something to be desired for, that aren't renovated, that don't have the dishwashers, don't have the air conditioning. So for any owners out there who are looking to rent their properties out or they're sitting there vacant, have a look at the condition of your property. Does it need painting? Does it need carpet? Now's an ideal time to be doing upgrades. You may think, oh, is it the right time? I think it is the right time because rents are low, so your property's got to be empty while you're doing these renovations. Why not do it while rents are low? It's silly to do it when rents are higher because you're going to be losing more money. And certainly, obviously, you've got to have the funds to be able to do those renovations too. But that will help you, keep your rents well. It'll help you get your tenants in there quicker and get a good quality of tenant and less maintenance, obviously, going forward if everything has been done. I think that's probably it for our wrap tonight. Short but sweet, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight. If you would like some more information or to chat with us further, please click in the link. I'll make sure that there is a link there to my calendar. You can certainly book in a time to chat to me or to Warwick, and we hope to help you with your property matters in the future. Thanks for watching and look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 8 o'clock with the next Professional Property Series.
Thank you for watching another one of my Professional Property Series interviews. I'd love to see your comments, and please like and subscribe to my social channels on Facebook and YouTube. I welcome any suggestions for new topics too.